It's been 2 years since the Civil War started, and the bloodshed has yet to stop. After his victory at Chancellorsville, Virginia, Confederate Commander Lee decided to focus on invading the North in what he called the Gettysburg Campaign. The plan was to try and get some leverage in the North by forcing Northern politicians to stop prosecuting the war. As Robert E. Lee was maneuvering his troops on McPherson's Ridge, he met Federal forces. He decided to probe the Union occupation. This was a huge mistake that would ultimately cost the Confederates the Battle of Gettysburg. The battle had begun. The first shot would be fired by Marcellus Jones on the Union's side. The United States cavalry confronted Confederate infantry advancing east along Chambersburg Pike. Heavy fighting spread across the north and south along the ridgeline north of the town of Gettysburg as additional forces from both sides arrived. On July 2nd, 1863, during the second day of the Battle of Gettysburg, Confederate General Robert E. Lee and the Army of Northern Virginia attacked General George G. Meade's Army of the Potomac, both Culp's Hill and Little Round Top, but fails to move the Yankees from their positions. On the north end of the line, or the Union's right flank, the Confederates from the General Richard Ewell's Corps struggled on Culp Hill, which was steep and heavily wooded, before being turned back by heavy Union fire. But the most significant action was the south end of the Union line. General James Longstreet's corps launched an attack against the Yankees, but only after a delay allowed additional Union troops to arrive and position themselves along Cemetery Ridge. Many people later blamed Longstreet for the Confederates' eventual defeat. On the third day of battle, fighting resumed on Culp's Hill, and cavalry battles raged to the east and south, but the main event was a dramatic infantry assault by 12,500 Confederates against the center of the Union line on Cemetery Ridge, known as Pickett's Charge. Confederate General Robert E. Lee's last attempt to breaking the Union line ended in a disastrous failure, bringing the most decisive battle of the American Civil War to an end. In conclusion, Lee led his army on a tortuous retreat back to Virginia. Between 46,000 and 51,000 soldiers from both armies died. In the three-day battle, the most costly in the U.S. history, the Union won the Battle of Gettysburg, a big turning point in the Civil War.